kita akan usir. Lebih bagus kita hancur, kita musnah di dalam perlawanan mempertahankan harga diri daripada kita ditindas, dibudak sampai habis.
We'd managed to stay undetected in West Papua for 2 weeks when we finally received a call we'd been waiting for. We were told to spend the night in a safe house before driving out at 4 in the morning. We were off to meet West Papua's underground army. Our contacts told us where we're going is so remote there were no roads. We're travelling with 3 men wanted by police for their membership of the outlawed Free Papua movement, the OPM. Just being in their company could get us arrested. We had to fly deep into the highlands past the mountain ridge which runs alongside the controversial Freeport mine. We landed at a remote airstrip on a hilltop 2.5 hours from Jayapura. The nearest Indonesian soldiers are 10 kilometres away, which means that they, if they hear we're here, they could get to us, I guess. Indonesian troops weren't our only worry. We were miles from anywhere and walking deeper into the highlands. And in the past, the OPM has taken Westerners and journalists hostage. The village was hidden away. As we entered, we noticed there were few men about, hardly on first sight a rebel stronghold. We were taken to meet the women of the village. You'll notice they've got the black soot on their faces as a sign of mourning and sadness. They told us 3 of their husbands had been killed just 3 months before in a clash with Indonesian troops. Yanata told me she'd only been married 1 week when her husband was shot dead. Another of the widows was grieving but defiant. She said, well, we never asked the Indonesians to come here and set up an army post in our village. They are the ones who caused the trouble in the first place. So my husband wanted to go and get their weapon and to try and attack them, and he did the right thing. I listened to an outpouring of loss and anger. She said, Indonesian soldiers can go to hell. We don't want them here. We don't want Indonesia here. They kill our husbands. They kill our people. We don't want anything to do with Indonesia. After a few hours, men started drifting into the village. It turned out they were local commanders of the OPM, an advance guard for the movement's leader, Kelly Kwalik. Kelly Kwalik is wanted by the Indonesian government for treason, kidnapping and murder, a separatist who's one of the most wanted men in the entire country. The Indonesians say they bring development, they bring economy, they bring many things to the Papuan people.
Yeah. Tidak mementingkan rencana pembangunan ada punya di atas, tetapi hanya mengejar uang.
Kwalik told me West Papua is a country rich in natural resources, and yet Papuans remain poor, while the Indonesians benefit. All they do is steal our land, they create opportunities for Indonesians, and all they want to do here is create business and take money for themselves. A few years ago, you took some foreign hostages. Why did you do that?
Karena saya bekerja, mau cari buka pintu.
Kwalik told me they didn't take the hostages for money.
Uang diberikan untuk melepaskan itu, sandera itu.
It was simply to bring international attention to the fact that there is suffering in Papua at the hands of the Indonesian military, that people are dying.
Saya tidak melawan dengan minta bantuan alat modern, senjata yang bermacam. Tapi saya tidak punya.
Even though we only have traditional weapons and the occasional ones they get from the soldiers, they fight because they believe what they're doing is right. And for them, it's almost a holy fight. It's a holy war for their own land. We were invited to stay the night. More and more OPM fighters emerged from the darkness. Some haven't seen each other in years. They told us they'd been marching for a week to get here as a show of strength. It's quite interesting because they've got young guys with them that can't be much more than teenagers. And it's pelting down with rain, as you can see, but they just seem to be quite happy to turn up. This is not for us, this was completely spontaneous. These amazing ancient songs. They said the words told of their enduring links with the land, of resistance and of a desire for independence. But for all their ancient traditions, these people are acutely aware of modern political symbols. We woke at dawn to find the villagers preparing to raise the banned flag of Free West Papua. It's an illegal act in Indonesia to do this. In fact, people have been shot for doing this, for raising this flag. And for these people, it may look like a small act of defiance, but in fact it's a very brave thing for them to do. Indonesian soldiers are not very far away. The Indonesian government says there's absolutely no foundation whatsoever for claims of arrest, torture and killings in Papua. It says a recent autonomy law now gives a majority share of revenue raised from its natural resources back to the province. And it points out that the international community recognises that there was a vote that made Papua part of Indonesia in 1969. Few journalists get into West Papua, fewer still evade arrest. And so the tensions here, the deaths and the protests on a remote island rarely make for dramatic headlines. What it feels like is a really slow suffocation of a people and a way of life. They just feel that there's going to be more and more Indonesians and fewer Papuans, and they feel if they don't stand up against it, then they're going to be wiped out.